I, like most gamer nerd XD kind of people, was obsessed with Pokemon for a time during my childhood. And recently, kind of more with the release of Sun and Moon, especially, I've found myself kind of looking back at Pokemon more. Like a month or two ago, I went back and watched a few episodes of the original series. I checked out the first few episodes of the Sun and Moon anime, and of course I got Sun and beat that. Played like 1.5 times, and stuff like that. And I've just been consuming a lot of like Nuzlocks. I've been watching Ben Saint's Sun Nuzlocke, and just stuff like that. It's kind of made me reflect on what Pokemon kind of means to me. Because I think Pokemon, if you were the type that was obsessed with it at one point, usually kind of means something to you. So I'm just gonna kind of reflect on my history with Pokemon. This will kind of just be like a rambly kind of video. Just put it on in the background, play some video, something like that. So let's see. I started. I gained like cognizance of Pokemon, as far as I know, when I was like around maybe 6 or 7. I mean, again, this is what I remember. I believe it was. I played Pokemon Coliseum because my cousin had an N64 that he would that he let me borrow. Yeah, and I used to play Pokemon Coliseum all the time. That was a lot of fun. It was also at this time that my other cousins, they all had like Game Boy Advances, and they were playing like Pokemon Emerald and stuff. And I played like snippets of that from them, and then I got a Game Boy Advance, and then I played Pokemon Emerald, and I adored that game. I still have that was yeah my first Pokemon like actual core series game that I ever played, and I still have a pretty big fondness for Gen 3. Like Blaziken is my favorite Pokemon, and fucking stuff like some of my other favorite like Torkoal. I love Torkoal. Torkoal's I think one of the most unfortunately neglected Pokemon because he's kind of shitty because he's just one guy. He doesn't have any evolutions. But yeah, so I played Gen 3. Um, I think probably just like once or twice, and I loved it a lot. And I also, at around this time, was watching the Gen 3 anime, um, which I think was just like going in the middle of. Because, I don't know. How old? I don't even know how old I was. Because, like, Diamond and Pearl came out in like 2006, and I don't remember when. Yeah, my ages are probably very skewed. Um, just so you know. But yeah, played Gen 3, watched the Gen 3 anime. I loved that as well. And I don't know how, but I was also somehow watched the like Gen 1 anime. Um, I don't think it was from like DVDs or anything. I don't know. I may have just found some kind of obscure weird thing that played them, or maybe Cartoon Network, which is where I watched the Gen 3 anime as well. Maybe they just play like reruns, which could very well be. But I watched that as well, and I got really into it. I watched like Pokemon the first movie. I watched a few of the Pokemon movies. Pokemon the first movie, Pokemon 2000, the one with fucking Latios and Latias. I watched that one as well. Uh, yeah, and I was super into all that. I started collecting Pokemon cards. I bought like packs and stuff. I play with my sister actually, who was never much of a nerd type, but she did play Pokemon cards with me for a time, which is kind of weird looking back on it that she would be into that. But regardless, I still have a shit ton of Pokemon cards, a lot of which were just like given to me by like a family friend because he didn't fucking play with them anymore because they're gay. And I'm really just holding on to them to like sell them eventually. Um, but they're kind of neat to have. But anyway, yeah, I was super into like all Pokemon media that existed at the time, other than like I don't know, the manga, because I didn't have access to that. And that went on. Eventually, Diamond and Pearl came out for the DS, and I never got a DS until like way later. And my cousins did all get DSs as well. So I played bits and pieces of Diamond and Pearl from them. Um, like just borrowing their thing and playing on it a little bit. And yeah, I don't really recall anything about Diamond and Pearl, just that I played it. I know like all the Pokemon from it because yeah, up through Gen 4, I know I'm pretty sure I could name by sight all of the Pokemon. Which I don't know, maybe I should try that sometime. I want to see if I can do that. Because I had like Pokemon guide books and stuff that just like had every Pokemon up to that point, of course, and just like little entries about them, stuff like that, which I was really into at the time. Stuff like I still kind of do like encyclopedic kind of things about franchises. Those are nice, I think. But yeah, that went on for maybe a year or two, kind of that level of obsession, and I kind of slowly fell off. Um, didn't really watch too much of the Gen 4 anime. I don't think, maybe just like a little bit. I remember Dawn and like stuff like that, and Brock was still there, but yeah, not to the extent that I watched the part 3. I'm thinking of JoJo, the Gen 3 anime. And I didn't really play the game too much, and it was around then that I stopped playing the cards. And then I don't know, I didn't really play too much Pokemon for a while. I mean, I'd still play like Pokemon Coliseum occasionally, because that's just like a fun little time waster or whatever. And I played Pokemon Snap a bit as well. That was a fun game. Um, and I don't know, I didn't really, yeah. I missed Gen 5 entirely, so when I got into Gen 6, because I bought Pokemon Y, once I got a 3DS, this is skipping way forward now. When I got Pokemon X, I wasn't sure which Pokemon were new to that generation and which Pokemon were new to Gen 5. So that was kind of funny. Like Roggenrola and fucking I don't know. Yeah, like Roggenrola was one of the ones where I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is that new? It's like, no, it's Gen 5. Just funny stuff like that. And then, yeah, I played Pokemon X, of course, which was fun, but wasn't incredible, I don't think. I liked the 3D Pokemon thing. That was really neat. But the fact that the rest of the world was still kind of in that black and white kind of pseudo 3D look that I don't really like that much. I think I'd rather it just be like the Diamond and Pearl or Sapphire and Ruby kind of 16-bit kind of look. I kind of prefer that to the pseudo 3D thing. But regardless, the game was fun enough, but I kind of got bored of it after a while. And I actually sold it a few weeks ago, I think. And yeah, I didn't really get back. Gen 6 didn't get me back into Pokemon really, but a few months ago for my birthday actually, I got Pokemon Sun. And I played that pretty ravenously for a few weeks. My first run through, I did a Nuzlocke actually, because I thought it'd be fun to do like a blind Nuzlocke, and that's the first Nuzlocke I ever did. And I had a lot of fun doing that. I didn't lose too many Pokemon because Pokemon's pretty easy even with Nuzlocke rules. I didn't do like any extra stuff. I just did the basic one Pokemon per area. Pokemon die if they faint. I didn't set any like level restrictions for myself, so maybe that was why it was so easy. But I did lose. I lost my starter. Pretty early on, actually, like before it got to its third evolution. Uh, and also, the Elite Four were fucking spooky because I almost lost. Like, I had a main party of six, or of five, really, because I lost my one fire Pokemon at like the battle before you go up the Elite Four mountain, at like the battle with Hal before you get there. And I was fucking mad. So I had a really hard time beating the Elite Four, but I did. I beat the whole game. I was really surprised that I was able to do it. I was scared I was gonna like lose at the last second. But yeah, I had a ton of fun doing that, and then I got like halfway through trying to do a catch all the Pokemon or as many Pokemon as I can without doing goofy bullshit. Uh, One of those kind of runs, and then I kind of just was like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay playing this. But I really loved about Pokemon Sun, that felt like just the next big step, just the fully 3D world. Everything looks good. Yeah, it was just, I had a lot of fun. The ride Pokemon are a fuck of a lot better than HMs. Really, just everything I liked. Yeah, the only thing I would say, even though, yeah, this is a pretty common complaint, is that the start is too long. Which really, I don't know if that's fair of me to criticize, considering Persona 4 is one of my favorite games, and that has like a 4 hour long tutorial at the beginning. Like, literally, but whatever. It's still a bit long. Uh, I think that is always the weakest part of Pokemon, is the beginning. I think everybody actually would agree with that. It's the most fun when you're just out there doing stuff. I never really got into any of the story elements of Pokemon. I thought it was the most fun when you're just going along, just catching the gym, catching the gym, beating the Pokemon, and not having to worry about all this story bullshit. I really like the totem Pokemon kind of thing, mixed in with fighting the captains or whatever. I thought that really mixed up the system and made it a lot more interesting than your standard gym battle. Um, yeah. So yeah, I liked Pokemon Sun a lot. And then like I said, I watched some of the animes again. I've been watching a lot of Pokemon Let's Play kind of stuff. I've been getting back into it, I guess you could say. Um, and really, what does Pokemon mean to me? I guess Pokemon was kind of my introduction to escapism. Probably for art in general. In like a tangible sense, I think. Because the Pokemon world is super appealing to a kid. You know, every kid's like, man, I want to fucking live in the Pokemon world. I want a Pokemon. Stuff like that. And I got into that super hard, you know? And I guess that was the first time I'd ever consciously thought to myself, I want to live in this fictional world. I want this to be real. So I guess that would be the impact that it left on me, is escapism, which is, you know, always a good thing. So yeah, that's Pokemon.